the land of the shoulds.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
The land of the shoulds is definitely what can be a poison to society. Of
Right.
where we think we're supposed to be. And that's what brings out imposter syndrome.
Ain't it?
For us.
See, let me sit my butt down. Ain't it though?
Yeah. I mean, I get it too.
When it comes to mental health and therapy, I am glad that the stigma is lifting, even in the communities where it's once so taboo. But in the lifting of that, I feel people put on different type of blinders. The kind in which they see therapy as this ethereal, peaceful, you know, soothing, I'm becoming a better person, I can stand up tall, and I don't have attitudes, and people don't get under my skin as easily anymore, and they don't realize that it's gonna disrupt their whole life, right?
Yes.
Like, this is a process, if you take it seriously, it's gonna disrupt your whole life. So we're talking about too much good stuff. Let me introduce, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It is just Mahogany and I'm here today with Juan of SoundMind Counseling. I told you all I was gonna bring him here. I am hot and I think it's because of this. Like, I'm in my own home, the fan is on, the air is on, and I am fanning myself and he's fine. Are you sure?
I'm a little hot, actually.
See, now he's hot. I asked him earlier, look, I thought it was just me, but I know that this material is not the business. Anyway, I have Juan here with SoundMind Counseling, and we're going to be talking today about different things from meditation to mindfulness to therapy, us being humans, and what it is that we're bringing to the table for you all. So, how you doing today, boo?
I'm doing good.
Like, Juan, I'm great. Let me tell y'all a little bit about him. We work together at another company that shall remain unnamed. And in that company, the most interaction that we was able to have was usually via like IMing or chatting, because we were working from home and we didn't really see each other a lot. It would be cool if we could have like videoed each other, but we didn't. But that's how we met. But y'all, this is how strong and important and major energy is. Because it was me, him, and another person, and we just, well, several people though, some silly people, and I just loved that. But as soothing, y'all hear the voice? Say something.
Hello, how are you?
That's real, right? As soothing as that voice is, he will tell you to have a few seats, and that's what I like. But anyway, we're here today to talk to you all about a couple of things, mostly mindfulness. He does have a business on his own, SoundMind Counseling, and is it just SoundMind Counseling Services?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So SoundMind Counseling Services, you can find that on Instagram. He's going to talk more about that at the end. But let's jump into it. So the first question that I have for you today, Juan, is we're talking about meditation. You do a lot about that. This is a big theme in your life. This is very important to you. What do you have to say about meditation? What is it? What is it? How would you describe it?
I would say it has a lot to do with connecting with ourselves. Really just being in the moment. A meditation can literally be anything though. That's the thing. A lot of people think that typically the stereotypical way of thinking of meditation is that we're sitting there, we're looking like we're Indian style, you know, sitting there on the ground, just breathing, having our hands like this, but no. It can take on very different aspects. You can be laying down and breathing. You can do what's called square breathing, which has to do with doing 4 seconds for each side of the inhale, hold, exhale, rest. You can do triangle breathing. There's so many aspects, but also what we can also do is other aspects of meditation, being walking, being very aware of our steps, of our body, doing a scan of the body, gardening, movement, writing. There are several aspects of what meditation can take on, but it allows us to really reconnect with our own body, our minds, our feelings, which is what we tend to dismiss as human beings, because especially now in our very fast-paced societies, we're on the move all the time. All the time. We don't even check in because, you know, some people have kids, they're working full time, they have to handle a lot of responsibilities. But do we ever sit down and actually sit with our feelings and be like, this is how I'm feeling right now? Very rarely can we do that. So meditation allows us to be able to do that.
Yeah. You jumped right into one of my questions, so I'm gonna get there because you've already kind of said I wanted to talk about like the different forms like of meditation. Like, is there a right or a wrong way or a best way? Because I definitely practice non-traditional forms of meditation. What he started off saying, this, I will do that sometimes. There's a benefit to that as well, sitting still and quiet and feeling and doing body scans and all of that. But that's not traditionally how I get into it. you've already kind of touched on it. You said gardening. I mean, you even, that was really what stood out to me, right? Because I don't think most people think of that as meditation.
Oh gosh, yes. Being in nature, period, that's a meditation, and it can be. Because if we're sitting there, this is what it also includes mindfulness. Mindfulness and meditation kind of go hand in hand, but every single thing we do every day can be considered a meditation. There's no right or wrong way to do it. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to be sitting there trying to observe your thoughts. You can be sitting there grounding yourself. Walking outside, for instance, people can process feelings through doing certain doing certain things throughout the day. This can include playing a music instrument. This can include gardening. Getting your hands into the soil, touching things. That a lot of people that experience ADHD, it's hard to sit still, of course. So movement, there's gratitude exercise, being out in nature where you listen to everything. You listen and pay attention to what you're seeing, hearing, what you feel around you, the air against the skin. This is all part of meditation and how it can be enveloped and developed. As long as we develop this habit, it can take 5 or 10 minutes a day. You can do more than that over time too. And process and change your internal feeling structure as well, the way that you're responding to your everyday reality, and then you can create your reality from mindfulness and meditation. And it doesn't take hours to do a day. Just take that 5 minutes, that 10 minutes. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. It's really up to you, and you can build up to it. It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be out of character for you. It's what he said. It's literally anything you can create. I know for me, when I'm feeling the most out of tune, the most disconnected from myself, my top 2 forms of meditation, music is a big thing for me. I definitely fall into singing as a form of meditation for myself. Whether I can do it or not, I let go of the fact that I can't, and I do it loudly. I mean, the neighbors probably can hear me. The neighbors, I'm pretty sure that they can hear me. I'm pretty sure that they talk about me. I let go of that, and I do it. And then that is elevated when I am cleaning my external space. When I get that right, oh my gosh, the way that I think differently, the way that I can move about differently, the way that I can plan differently, the way that I feel things are more possible. It's amazing what clearing your outer space can do for the inner space, and vice versa, right? Because generally your environment is matching what's going on within. Your external environment is generally matching that internal environment. And then lastly, it's exercise. That is my absolute number one thing to go to. You don't have to love it. I'll just go in the room, get on the treadmill, put them headphones on, I'm singing, and afterwards I am a whole new person. That's also something that I do. What do you think? I didn't put this on here actually, but do you have any thoughts or guidance or words about crystals and stones, and do you use them yourself?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have a lot of crystals and stones around my home. Some that are in my room in a glass case. I have some that are under my pillow every night. I use some to use Reiki with to complete that before I go to bed, so I can release, cleanse chakras. But it's very good to use those things to absorb what we're feeling, what we're experiencing. It helps us to transmute it in some sort of way through an object. Because using different kinds of crystals, rocks, they've, over the centuries, have been used for certain aspects of like us being able to work through the hardships in life, what we're experiencing, the human condition.
Absolutely. So I also do yoni egg practice, which is the same thing. You're using stones, but they're like yoni eggs. If you don't know what yoni eggs are, just Google it. And this is not the channel for that, but I have them. I use them.
I remember you mentioned that, and I was like, wait, what? This is a thing? That's cool. Okay. Can we do that? And you're like, no.
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything yet. But So did I tell you about the time I went to the chiropractor?
No.
With the yoni egg in, and they gotta x-ray you. So he's looking at the full body x-ray. He's like, what's that? The little ball was sitting there. And it wasn't even straight, it was like a little thing. And I was like, oh, that's my yoni egg. He was like confused, right? Of course, clearly. I was like, don't worry about it. the point is you can do anything, right? You can make your nail polish routine your meditation if that's something that you enjoy, that can, what did you say, ground you, give you a sense of peace, a sense of purpose, helps you receive some of the answers to the things that you're actually looking for. So that leads me into the next question. I did on my Don't Dismay meditation, the one that I did yesterday, was prayer helps. Some people say prayer and meditation are one and the same. Some say that it's different. The prayer is more so like you asking God or the universe or whatever you believe in for a thing, and meditation is the practice of you listening and being able to receive the answers, getting into a space that you can receive the answers and receive them more clearly, right? So this is whether you're religious or not. Like I said, God, universe, interchangeable, whatever you like. Yeah. What do you think about that? I know you kind of touched on that. Are they one and the same? Are they different? Or, what's the thought?
So being able to pray and to practice meditation, it's our way of being able to ask. It's a spiritual aspect of meditation, the prayer. Meditation is also, it can be the part of listening to the universe, listening to ourselves, actually digging deeper into ourselves. And prayer can be used as the way to do that, to connect, to ask, and whichever kind of entity you're in, if it's religious or if it's spiritual, whichever side of that could be.
Yeah.
So praying could also be used as a meditation. Yeah.
There's a power to gratefulness at whatever level you're at in order to get to the next place. Talk about that. Gratitude. Yes.
Ooh. So gratitude lists, when we're meditating, when we're breathing, if we can train our minds to think about, for instance, we don't always have good days. Nobody ever, and if they ever tell you this, they're lying, is ever happy all the time. Happy
and I don't know if I want to be.
Very important for us to know how to be able to have that happiness aspect, to process things. We're back to during these times where our minds and our bodies are always shifting. Everything around us is always shifting. And if we're wanting to process our emotions, feel certain things, and also even though we acknowledge today was not a good day for me, this is the good that came from my day. The good can be from that gratitude practice, either in the morning, the evening. Partners, I invite couples to do this too. I think it's so important because a lot of people forget to acknowledge and say what they are grateful for, and very specifically about their partner, what they did for them that day. I'm grateful that you made me some lunch today. I'm grateful that you told me good morning. You greeted me this morning. Or that gratitude at night. I'm grateful that we were able to laugh together, share some time together. Your space. I shared space with you. So if we look at it from that perspective with gratitude and get really specific, instead of many people saying like, I'm grateful for my health. Well, what, for instance, is your heart working well? Your lungs, are you able to breathe? Eyes, are you able to see with, hear, taste, smell? Acknowledging these all the senses.
Yeah. I read a book many, many years ago, over a decade ago. I can't remember what it was called, but one of the practices was to keep a daily gratitude and acknowledgement journal. Again, like meditation, it doesn't have to be difficult. Write down 3 things. If you have to start with the same 3 things every day, you're building on a practice of gratitude. So if I'm starting with the fact that I just opened my eyes, that I just woke up, that I just got out of bed, every day, that's one thing. I had a job to go to. That's another thing. That's another thing.
I got there, safely got home. My vehicle worked for me today. And just acknowledging these many aspects of ourselves, our daily lives, the very ordinary things that people look at, where it's not seen as that big because our minds are always going towards other things, wanting other things, but programming ourselves to live in that space, live in a space of gratitude. Even if we experience hardship sometimes, there's other ways that we can view and shift our perspectives, and that takes meditation.
Yeah. You talked about mindfulness with meditation.
Yes.
How do they differ? How does mindfulness differ and relate to meditation?
So mindfulness can have to do with acknowledgement of feelings, processing these things, just sitting down and actually acknowledging how you're feeling. a mindfulness exercise could be like drawing your feelings. I recently did that where they asked us at work to actually draw a heart and draw your feelings. And I think to myself, like, I don't know how to draw. Oh my God. So all of a sudden I'm feeling a little insecure about it. And then I'm thinking to myself too, I'm like, but I can just draw how I'm feeling and that's okay. Like, I'm going to do what I can. So you draw certain things and you draw like, okay, well, right now I feel happy. And different people actually drew different things. Some people drew in color, patterns. Some people can do mindfulness exercises based on just identifying their feelings and actually just looking at them for what they are objectively and being okay with those feelings. Because feelings are not permanent. Feelings are not facts. And that's what mindfulness teaches us. So that we don't respond based on our feelings and our thoughts, because neither of which are factual. They're not infinite. They're not here to stay. They go. And then eventually mindfulness practice with meditation, it's like ropes. Ropes, just pretend you're in a room, you're flying through the air with ropes, and you're grabbing ropes. Sometimes ropes latch onto us and they stay. That's when this feeling or thought just stays with us, hardens us, because we're not actually acknowledging it, processing it, but instead it stays and we get tangled. So a way to do that is this mindfulness meditation, allowing ourselves to phase, hold on, let go, hold on, let go of those ropes. That's how I see meditation and mindfulness working together.
Hold on, let go. Hold on, let go. This is, we were talking about this before we turned on the camera, but anything that is therapeutic, whether you're going to therapy or you are taking care of yourself and you're changing that habit for the better, it's going to disrupt your entire life.
Yes.
It absolutely is. I let me just actually get into it. Actually, I was saying that although the stigma is being lifted about the therapy, right? The mindset of therapy is not as taboo as it once been. And that's almost across the board, you know, in most communities. There's still a lot of cultures who shy away from it, but their children are going, you know what I mean? And we see this happening. But then there's this idea that if I'm going, things should be getting better. And they are. But they're getting better through this process that we don't usually like to see, because it's a disruption. It's a change. And oftentimes you changing means, well, not oftentimes, it means that things around you must change. People around you must change. And if they don't change, they have to be able to accept you for the new you and who you are. Yeah. So there's a lot of change that happens when we're in this stage. What do you think about that? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Because I hear that a lot. Like, people are like, this is frustrating. You know, we're therapists. I don't know if people actually tell you that, but this is hard. This is making things worse for me. Do you ever hear that?
Yes.
How do you respond?
Well, sometimes clients will come in and at the end of the session, they can say like, oh my gosh, like I feel like talking about this just makes it worse. And I think to myself, growth. And I let them know, like, growth isn't comfortable. You're not supposed to be comfortable if you're going to therapy, because you're working through these deep-rooted issues that have been inside for so long, unacknowledged, and it's bringing them to the surface where our prefrontal cortex is like, oh my God, there's actually shit in here. I'm sorry for the French.
No, it's okay. We speak that language on this channel. Y'all know that.
We actually have shit inside of us where we have not processed it. And this is what causes a lot of deep-rooted issues for people, is when we don't process things, and when we are in the process of doing it, it's not comfortable. It's simple like that. And it's not easy. It's not going to happen overnight either. Therapy is a process. There's different journeys for different people. Some people can come in and they're like, I'm ready, I'm good. Other people come in and they're like, I don't like this, I don't think it's working for me. But the other part of it is the readiness to make change. Are they in that zone of wanting to actually follow through with the knowledge they're learning, apply it to their lives? It's like going to church. You know, people go in, they come out, and they're flicking off everyone. Fuck you, you know, fuck you, fuck you. Like right after you leave church, you're screaming at whoever. Or you cut someone off and you honk your horn. You know, just not applying what you just learned.
at all, because you think it stops inside the church building.
It stops inside therapy. Yes, I'm going to be better. I'm going to do this. And then you walk out and it's not being applied.
At all.
So,
at all.
so then in turn, it's easier as humans sometimes for people to blame, point the finger. I'm not the problem. They're the problem.
So 2 things, yes. The work doesn't stop inside the therapy office. In fact, it's barely even begun. The work is done at home.
Yes.
It's done at home.
It's like learning math, learning how to write, practicing math at any time. When I was in class, the teacher would do certain things I didn't realize till I was an adult in college. And everyone else would act as though I would see my old self in them and be like, they would complain and blame the teacher. I'm not absorbing this. This test didn't make sense. This homework didn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, you have to practice. You can't be taught everything. It's impossible. You have to do your own research, do your own work, do the work that you're given. The assignments you give yourself. It's very important to participate. Be a participating member in the relationship with your therapist.
You must.
Yes.
You must, you must, you must. And so at some point you got to say, I'm working with what I got. This is what I have to do. And even if it doesn't work, it won't be because I did not fucking try.
I didn't fucking try. Yeah.
It won't be because of that.
Take responsibility.
Take responsibility. We got to do it. We have to stop pointing fingers like we said and start owning that from this day forward, I have choices. I have options, and I gotta be brave enough to step up and say it. So many ways.
Formed over the years, they take time to undo. They can take years to undo.
Yeah.
Practice, because you have to reprogram your mind, perspective, all of that.
Yes, yes. Meditation can help. Mindfulness can help. This is why developing the practice can help. Gratitude, the daily gratitude journal. You have to give yourself an opportunity. And it is going to be new, it is going to be difficult, it is going to be hard, but as a child, you did not care when you were learning how to walk, how many times you failed. We can do this.
Process.
Yes.
We are learning about ourselves every day. That's the important part to take away from all of this, is to remember that every day is an opportunity for us to learn something new about ourselves, what we're perceiving, what we're feeling. Mindfulness allows us, and meditation allows us to connect, like I said before, connecting with ourselves again. Really coming home to ourselves and embodying what we want for ourselves in our lives and all around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. So you have SoundMind Counseling Services.
Yes.
Tell us about SoundMind Counseling Services. What can we expect? What are the offers? Where can we find you?
Yes.
Tell us more.
So I'll be opening the practice in June. I'll be doing it about full time, most likely in June. So I'll be doing individual therapy, couples therapy, and I will be working with 15-year-olds, 15 and up, 14 and up probably. And a big focus of mine is working in the LGBTQIA community, working with people that experience issues in relationships. I'm also going to be working with people that experience depression, anxiety, trauma, gender dysphoria, and also that experience various other kind of, distress in their lives, ways to balance lives. So what I incorporate a lot into my practice is a lot of mindfulness, meditation. There's work on the mind, thought processes, feelings, behaviors, actions. I like to go through and process a lot of things when it comes to family upbringing, environments. And so I'm actually going to be located on Wurzbach in 410 area. It'll be at 11107 Wurzbach Road, Suite 403 here in San Antonio. I don't know if you need the full address. But I'll also be doing virtual work as well with people too.
We love virtual now. We've gotten used to it.
Yes. And also it'll be later hours too, which is nice. So I also have an Instagram page where I like to write poetry sometimes too, based on my own experiences, or just to share things that I think just come into my mind because I'll listen to podcasts and whatnot. So I have at SoundMindCounselingServices on Instagram, and I also have a page on Facebook, share the same things on both. And you will find some different things that you can share, relate to. There's exercises, there's questions, things you can reflect on, or just things about everyday life, just reminders, really gentle reminders.
Yeah, and they're good stuff. So make sure you do follow. He is also he failed to mention a musician.
Oh yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So you'll get some
musician.
meditation music, not specifically meditation music, but when I tell you, you should listen to it for meditation purposes.
Yes.
I'm not bringing you any BS. What else did you want to bring to the table just about mental health or any techniques, meditation, anything else that we maybe haven't discussed that you feel like would be pertinent? Did anything pop up that I didn't think about?
Yeah, I think just the stigma behind seeing a therapist. I know you mentioned earlier that people go through really deep, dark areas. They have to feel like rock bottom to go see a therapist. Actually, you don't have to at all. If you're experiencing things and you feel like there's nobody in your life that you can talk to, that you're processing with, you need a different perspective from the outside window looking in, then going to therapy is a way to do that. Because I know there's a lot of stigma behind people going, because some people think that therapists work with people that are crazy or insane or have the worst conditions ever. Actually, that's far from the truth. A lot of people that come in, they're kind of just feeling like, this is what I've been feeling for a while, and I just want to work through this. Some people come in for coaching.
Yeah.
Direction in their lives that they want to find for themselves. And what we do, we don't tell them what to do, because if that were the case, we'd all be following everybody's advice. And we'd be out of a job.
Right. So don't do what I do.
No, but what we do is we focus more on shedding light with people, helping them to explore their caves, find their treasures, and use them to find their ways into the deep, dark tunnels that they have adventured throughout their lives.
So let's see. I did put, if you want to lead us in a quick guided meditation that you could. You did tell us about SoundMind, where to find you.
Yes.
You gave us, is there a website? Did you talk about a website?
Yes.
So
I have a website coming out soon, Soundmindcounselingservices.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Soon to come, so make sure you're following that.
Yes.
By the time this video gets up, how soon do you think the website will be up?
Probably in June.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then by the
Beginning
time
of
this
June.
up, it'll be you'll probably be about a week away from seeing the doors open, really, the grand opening. So yeah, okay. Good. So by now, as we put it up, all of this information is probably available or soon to be available to you. So, but the Instagram page is up and running. The Facebook page is up and running, and I already know. So go check out stuff. He does talk about mantras on there that you can use, what they are, so that you can start to incorporate this. But you can create your own. Right? Yes. Again, this is something you can tailor to self. Did you want to try to do a quick guided meditation? All right, he's going to lead us through one, y'all.
Yeah.
We follow instructions.
So we can start with just sitting comfortably. You can lay down if you wanted to do that. Just make sure your hands are in a calm and relaxed place. Go ahead and close your eyes and just pay attention. Start with paying attention to the breath. So inhale through your nose, exhale through the mouth. So just allow yourself to sit calmly with the breath, okay? I'm going to do a body scan with you. So sometimes in our body we might experience tension. Continue to breathe for right now. And then I'll help you to work through any tension with the body. We're going to start with the top of the head. Okay? So we'll start with the top. Sometimes we experience what are called tension headaches. That's due to stress. A lot of times when we're not checking in, we might just be on the go all the time. So go ahead and start with inhaling and focus your senses. Focus your feeling on the top of your head, your face. Is there any tension there on your face? Unwrinkle and release the forehead. Release any muscles that are being used in the face. If you feel that your jaw is tight, clenched, release that. Any tension in the throat. So we're going to work to the shoulders. Are your shoulders up? Are they heavy? Are they really tense? If we have desk jobs or we're always working, a lot of stress develops here in this area. In the chest, the back, the lower back The abdomen, rest. Allow it to rest as you keep breathing, just paying attention and say, I allow myself to rest. And we can continue down to the thighs, the buttocks too, the butt and the thighs, the glutes, the calves, the feet. A lot of stress is carried here too, where we think we have a lot of stress in our thighs, tension in our thighs. The hands too, the arms, the feet. Pay attention to all of this as you allow yourself to just kind of go from the feet all the way back up to the head with each body part. It's like just doing a full scan as you're walking through the airport where they check your whole body. That's a full scan for you. So keep paying attention to each part of the body as we go from the feet, the knees, the calves, the thighs, the glutes, the back, the abdomen, the chest, the upper back, shoulders, neck, face, and head. And you can do this as long as you'd like. You can repeat this if you would like to. There's no certain time that you have to set for yourself. If 2 minutes, 5 minutes is enough, do that. But this allows you a chance to really sit with and check in with your body to ground yourself. And that's it. So you can go ahead and open your eyes and reflect on how you feel.
This was amazing. I really hope that you all have learned some things, took some stuff away. I'm like a calm, peaceful zone.
Me too.
As always, y'all, make sure you share to keep the conversation going, the content flowing. That is how we now will stay growing. So please do that. All right, folks. You've seen it. You heard it here. Juan from SoundMind Counseling. Go follow him on Instagram. Check us out. Subscribe, follow, come back for more. You know I do the poetry here, the mental health stuff here. Jamais. And the BBT skit. So check them out. And leave your comments below. Bye.
Bye. Nice to meet y'all.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.